Guys, I'm sorry I ended the vlog abruptly yesterday. So what happened is that Monday was a public holiday. So it was like a coming of age day in Japan. Now, the thing is that I actually also just thought Mondays weren't popular days for ramen shops to be open. So the first ramen shop I went to was closed. And I was like, it's a Monday, I guess. You know, ramen Sunday, Monday rest. And then I went to the second ramen shop and it was closed. And I was like, yeah, I guess my rhyme definitely makes sense. And then I went to the third shop and the third shop was closed early because of this holiday, and I read the sign and I was like, god damn it, it's the holiday. So anyway, I got foiled. That would have been funny on the vlog. I just didn't know I would be foiled 3 times. Unfortunately, where I ended up was Ichiran, and Ichiran is terrible. It is terrible stuff. The pork is dry and hard. The noodles are the only redeeming quality, and no matter how you tweak the soup, even if you put full fat in the soup, full pork fat in the soup, it still doesn't make it good. That doesn't even make sense. It's like impossible to like not have soup be better with full fat, but it just isn't. There's nothing you can do to save that goddamn ramen. So, I ended the vlog abruptly. I did not film Ichiran, although there was an earthquake. I was eating and I felt an earthquake. And everyone else seemed unfazed. They were just happy eating their goddamn Ichiran. And I was like, this is a sign from God that I shouldn't be in here. So I'm probably gonna eat like 1 bowl at each shop and just hope for the best. In between, I'll go shopping. So it'll be 7 bowls of ramen over the course of a day. I will explain to you like what I feel about the ramen, how it tastes, you know, what I liked, what I didn't like. I'll give you a recap at the very end of the day. Of my opinion on what the best ramen is. I'm coming up to the first one and I think there's a line. Fuck, I hate lines. Well, I guess it must mean it's good. I think this is the first one. Looks like it. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe I should go in here. Maybe it should be a ramen day. Maybe it should be just go into whatever has a queue day. No, I'm pretty sure this is the one. Let's see. How do I tell? If they serve ramen, then it's probably... Oh yeah, this is the one. Okay. Damn it. Alright, so I'm going to be spending most of my day in queues. This is what it seems like. This is the first shop, but I'll double check with my phone and my GPS. But even if it isn't, it is now the first shop because it has a queue and it serves ramen. So here we go. This is, if I am in the right spot, this is Hakata Iso, ISSO, is what it's showing up on my GPS as. And yes, I'm here. It is the right shop. I'm gonna go because they're about to ask me what I want. So since Ichiran is now the baseline, and my first stop of the day was Hakata Iso, we'll lay it out like this. The noodles weren't as good as Ichiran, which sucked. The broth was better, had a richer taste without being oily. With Ichiran, you have to keep on adding oil to get that richness. With these guys, it had a richer taste without adding the oil. It wasn't the best broth I've had. Their claim to fame, or I guess their unique selling point is the fact that they whip it, so it's frothy. These people call it the cappuccino, the ramen of cappuccinos, or the cappuccino of ramens, or whatever. Who knows? I mean, honestly, like the broth doesn't hold the bubble like milk does. So I mean, honestly, after the first like 2 bites, that gimmick goes away, and it doesn't add to the enjoyability. So I would just say it's a gimmick. It's BS. The pork was also tough and dry, much like Ichiran. So honestly, noodles were worse. Pork was the same. Broth was better. Overall, okay. I've had better ramen outside of Japan. So let's hope the next place I go to is better than this place, because if not, it's starting to be like a trend. Okay, so I cheated on you guys a little bit. I went to one ramen place before this one and I didn't film it, but because it was so bad that I was just like, you know what? I don't want to be like cursing and ranting about this place to you guys. Waste of my time, waste of my walking, waste of my calories. It was just terrible. And I'm just not even gonna bother including it on the list. I'm gonna pretend I didn't do it. And this is the last one. Not the last one I'm going to, but this is the last one I'm going to. If it's bad, then I'm done. I'm like, 100% done with fucking Hakata ramen because I love tonkatsu ramen, and this is apparently where it's from, but no one knows how to make it good here. So, these guys, they seem to have this like Michelin star guide, whatever, not a star, but you know what I mean, like the hawker guide thing. And it doesn't fail me in Singapore, or it rarely fails me in Singapore, so it shouldn't fail me here. But anyway, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna try it. If it's bad, I'm done with this ramen nonsense because it's just like making my stomach cramp for what? For bad ramen. No point. But if it's good, I will continue on and I will continue to buy more ramen. I have a few more places shortlisted. One of the places was unfortunately closed as well. It said it was open, but it just wasn't. Maybe they opened late. I don't know. One of the places was so bad, I'm just not even going to show it in the footage because I just haven't, like, I just ranted about it, and then I was just like, you know what, no. I don't even want to give them energy. And then there's this place, which I'm going to try now. If it's good, I'll keep on going. If it's not good, then I'll let you know outside, and I'm done. All right. So on the menu, it said that you could get curry and noodles as an extra side option. And then I was like, oh, when I finish my ramen, if the broth is good, what I'm going to do is I'm going to order an extra noodle, but I'm also going to order a curry, and I'm going to throw the curry and the noodles into the ramen broth and make a curry ramen. And then I looked at the sign and I was like, oh, yep, exactly. So I'm basically like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm basically going to do like bottom portion, which is noodle and curry thrown into my empty ramen bowl that just has broth to make my curry ramen for round 2. Okay, so for those of you who want to try this place, apparently when this blue bucket is hanging here, it means he's open, it means he's happy with his broth. Okay, so the blue bucket means the place is open and that he's happy with his broth. I really don't know what's going on here. I mean, because on one hand, I've had more terrible ramen in Fukuoka than I've ever had, period. On the other hand, this place does get Le Guide Michelin 2019 approval. So, am I wrong, or is everyone else wrong? And I think the answer is that everyone else is wrong, because, okay, let's rate it like we were rating them. Okay, I kind of got fumbled on the last place because it was so bad. Oh my god. Okay, so let's rate them like we were rating them. Was the pork better than Ichiran? And the answer is yes and no. Yes, it was better in the fact that it was soft, that it was well cooked, that it had its own nice flavor. They used an interesting cut of meat, or they cut it in an interesting way. Maybe it's the same cut of meat cut in an interesting way. But the one gripe I had was they left way too much fat on the meat. So you were eating more like globby fat than you were actual pork meat, which is fine because I don't mind fat. Like, here's the crazy thing. It's not like I'm dissing these places because, like, I don't have a palate for, like, Asian food, or I don't have a palate for, like, rich foods or something like that. I eat everything. I love most everything. I'm just picky. I like the best of everything. And I've had the best of everything. So I know what the best of everything should taste like. And I know that I have also personal preferences, but I can be objective. And objectively, the pork here was better than, say, Ichiran or the other places I went to today. My point is that it was soft. It had decent pork flavor, but it had too much fat on it. He should have shaved off more of the fat because it just wasn't necessary, because it just didn't add to it. And in fact, it subtracted from the experience. Now, that's where everything was like a positive. Everything else from here on is a negative. The noodles were like soft, borderline soggy. By the time I actually like clawingly finished, the noodles were soggy. They didn't ask me how I wanted them done, so I just assumed they would have done what they felt was right. What they felt was right was obviously wrong. 2, the soup. People rate this soup very highly because it has like a milky kind of look to it. And at first I got excited. I was like, wow, this is really thick, and wow, this is really milky looking. And I took a sip and I was like, wait, something doesn't taste right. And I took another sip And I took another sip, and by about like the fifth sip, while I was trying to figure out what's going on in my head, I realized it's just not good soup. It's just not. It tastes like canned country style gravy that has been watered down, but like instead of a strong chicken taste, they've gone and somehow incorporated a porky taste, or like I just thrown pork fat into like powdered chicken, like country style chicken gravy, and then just watered it down way too much. Um, but it's still very starchy. And it's like, okay, so then I thought about it and I started examining the soup and I started really thinking about it. And I was like, well, what's going on here? Because by right, this should just be like very collagen-y and very pork fatty, right? And that's what's going on, right? And I don't know, maybe they've like gone and like whipped it or something to try to get it to like just aerate or whatever, right? And I'm really trying to dissect it here. I'm really trying to figure out what's going on. But every bite I taste, all I can think of is that it tastes like cornstarch or some kind of starch filler. It just has this like starchy filler taste, and it just like waters down the overall taste of the soup. And for how rich it is and for how it looks and how velvety it feels, it just like seems fillery. It just seems like they put filler in it, and that's the only way I can describe it. It just wasn't a good experience. It's just not a tasty soup, and I just don't know why. It has Le Guide Michelin 2019, and I don't know why people rave about this place. In fact, so there was a couple that walked in after I walked in, and they walked out at the same time as I walked out, and I ran down the street, and I said, excuse me, that restaurant, did you like the food? Very nice. And they were like, whoa, and they got really excited, and they were like thumbs upping me. And I was like, so like, either they're lying or I don't know. Jesus, maybe I have COVID. Maybe nothing tastes good because I have COVID. Maybe this is like let's rate ramen restaurants while having no taste buds on COVID. I'm gonna go eat something that's known to be tasty. I'm gonna go eat like a Lateria burger, and if the Lateria burger tastes bad, then I know that I have COVID. I mean, Lateria is not great. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, one of their burgers is decent. um, yeah, so I don't really know what to do. I'm standing outside the restaurant, just scratching my head as to why it wasn't great. But anyway, I've rambled on for 5 minutes. I'm gonna do a short take because I might not use this one. Look, the whole park's lit up. It's so magical. I figured I'd show you guys. Best thing here isn't the ramen. It's the Christmas lights. Who would have guessed? Guys, I was so depressed with the ramen, the way it turned out. I was so excited for good ramen. And when it didn't turn out, I was so depressed that I was like, fuck this. I'm just going to go shopping. So I bought the Barbour jacket that I was looking at. I like it. It's not practical for Japan or Singapore or probably anywhere I'm going anytime soon. But YOLO. This is my ramen money going to good use. Yeah, so I ended up buying some, not gas station, some grocery, convenience store, there we go. Convenience store onigiris. And one of those like hot honey lemon teas, not tea, just hot honey lemons. Yeah, I decided nuts to this. I'm going home, back to the hotel, with my cool new jacket, and my honey lemon, and my onigiris, and salami sticks, because I like salami sticks. And, oh, I also picked up some lens pouches, some like neoprene lens pouches, Impulse, but they fit the SL primes perfectly. Jacket, neoprene pouches. Oh, I bought shoes the other day. I bought like Asics, just black GT 2000s, GT 2013s. And I bought those because I actually tried on the Nova Blast, the Kianos, and the GT 2000s. Now, the GT 2000s came recommended. The Kianos I've always bought, but since they updated to the really fluffy ones, I've kind of hated them. And then there was the Nova Blast, and someone was like, the Nova Blast is great. And I tried them on, and the Nova Blast is great if you don't want to walk all day, if you just want to like blast down the street, and then like go home, right? Literally like run to the convenience store and come home, or jump on a track, do a lap, be proud of yourself, and go home. But I don't run unless I'm being chased. So uh, I wanted like more of a walking shoe, and the Keanos normally would fit that bill because they're the most stable apparently, but they're not because they're so fluffy these days, just kind of like all over the place. Whereas the GT2000s are a lot firmer, so they're kind of like the Keanos of old but updated. So got the jacket, got the neoprene pouches, got a bunch of disappointment with the ramen, and I'm just gonna pack up the hotel room and pass out because when I wake up in the morning, I'm gonna head to Osaka, where I'll do some more vlogging in Osaka, and then I'm gonna head back to Tokyo, where I probably won't be vlogging because I have things I need to do, and then I'm gonna head back to Singapore, and I will probably bitch to you guys about camera gear in Singapore or something like that, and then maybe off on another trip soon. All right, see you guys.